I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is August 8th, Thursday, 2024. Hope you had a good day today. Just coming back from my vacation yesterday and then slept all day and all that type of thing. But let's take a look here. As you can see, we opened up and we gapped down on Sunday. So Friday, I didn't make Friday's last video, right? Last Friday's video. And that was sitting right here. If you look on the daily right here. And I was talking about tagging this low right here. And obviously Friday did that. And then we were already here, damn sinking. Then Sunday night opened up and boom, came all the way down, wiped out that liquidity here from April here. And technically this is, isn't that the low of the quarter? No, it's not the low of the quarter. But anyways, we came right to that gap right here, which was from also April 22nd. Right there, April 22nd right here. That's dragged out. You can see it on this 1 hour chart right here. Dragged out, tagging it twice. Pretty much wiping out all the liquidity and then bouncing literally off that weekly imbalance. So I've got it highlighted here. This weekly imbalance here. You can see it on this weekly chart up here to the top left. You see that? So I've got that dragged out, and you can see that everything's kind of respecting that level. And now, because we had that Sunday gap, obviously when we opened up, now we're over here sealing it with a body, right? So this is the first time that we're actually getting a body. You had what is this? You had Tuesday and Wednesday poking in it, creating liquidity. Got the drives up, going up like that, right? And then if we go back to the 1 hour right here, you can see when we dropped Sunday night, and then on Monday we came up. We made these little 3 drives here. We pulled back. If I put a fib on here, this is a nice golden area on the fib. I'm assuming this is a 70. Let's take a look. Whoops. And I'm sure you've done this already, but let's take a look here. And you'll see, where are you at? All right, so pretty much 61 bodies are laying over there, almost hitting the 70. But in the general speaking, it's just a discount area, and it's buying up from there, right? So in this sense, the problem with this whole market situation with Nasdaq here on this chart is that these are really equal lows right here. So these lows didn't take out those lows, so it's like, it's pretty ugly, man. I wish they would have just took it out. That would have been much better, or bought from a higher place. But definitely respecting the gap and respecting that weekly imbalance here, which is the this weekly candle right there. On the daily, you can see it there. Not really well, but anyways. So here's the thing. And what are we doing? We're now closing a body above that gap, right? Which is happening live. So where do we go from here? Well, I can get into that more as we do with the video, but and please don't let all these gaps confuse you, because I know it can be confusing. I still have them on my chart. I have to draw them extra because they don't show on the 1 minute time frame, so I have to draw them out. But I could probably unview them on the 1 hour here or higher. But anyways, you can see algorithmically it is delivering, and then when you got this pocket of weekly gaps right there, it's just literally just drawing price to it, right? So and you know, using it as support, resistance, and it's having the price draw. So you can see that we got them stacked here pretty well, and that's kind of like what we're doing here. So also, let's go into it real quick. I know I haven't done videos in a while, so but as you can see here, we're just really testing that same area, that gap. That's the number one key. Yesterday, Wednesday, you can see that when we made this high yesterday, if you take the projection from Wednesday's high to this swing high to this swing low right here, projecting it down, you can see the 3 to 4 Let me try to zoom this out. You see the 3 to 4 standard deviation, negative 3.5 to 4 standard deviation. You can see the price comes right to it, which is beautiful right there. And then in doing so, it also does wipe out Tuesday's low. If you looked up here, right? So we wiped out Tuesday's low. We came down. We wiped out even our intraday lows for on Wednesday as well with the opening, with that opening gap. That opening gap right here, this daily opening gap for Tuesday, or I should say Wednesday. This right here, this ended up being a very important price. As you can see here, this is how I even caught the trade here for today's price action. As we came down to this negative 3 and a 4, and when we opened up in Asia for this today's Thursday price action, we swung above that swing high right there, and we broke above. We hit that gap right there, and look how we're ping-ponging it. I mean, literally, we're tracing back here, and shy of missing our daily open gap for today. But as you can see, I have a projection again up there going up, and here's 1 to 1.5, here's 2 to 2.5, and then if you can see here very clearly, there's from 3 to 3.5. We're literally entering that right now as we're speaking. So obviously the goal for today was to take out that high, but I couldn't hang that long. I decided to just wait to go above the opening gap of Sunday's night in the purple. That's what the purple is. It's the current week gap for me. So as you can see here, we get to the 1 and 1.5, and we do retrace and get into an imbalance. Where is that now? If I fast forward over here, you can see that we already have a previous week gap sitting there. When the 9:30 open, here's the 8:30. So not definitely not being a part of that, but price shoots up. You get 3 drives here, pretty much. 1. Here's a cluster of number 2. Here's number 3. Hits that gap right there. That's why they're in the background. You see that? Retraces all the way back to this previous week gap right here. And then, as you can see, if you look on the left side of the of my chart, you can see on the 15-minute, that's a previous day open. See this right here? We just talked about it. This Wednesday open right here. You can see if I drag that out, it's all the way back on this 1 minute. You can see that we're literally right on it. So we're gonna reference this. We're gonna reference this daily gap, these daily gaps for 3 to 5 days in general speaking. So you can see it's bouncing, using it as support. What do we also have here? We also have, if you look on the 15-minute, I don't have everything dragged out, but on the 15-minute, you can see we have this imbalance here. This goes without even saying. Don't even need to explain that. But as you see, where does it look at the 50% of that? Boom. You know, we're sitting there. So we have a previous week gap. We got the previous day gap. And we have this imbalance and 50% sitting there, and plus the opening range in the background. Look at that. So when we open up, we start shooting down, wiping out some of this push out artist and balance price. And this is a freaking, if this is not screaming to you, come to me, I don't know what else will. But and then you see 50% sitting right there. As soon as that price bounces off, it shoots off. It's gone. So while it's shooting off, you're obviously, for me, decreasing the risk, but at that moment, I did have a huge risk. Obviously, we're in a totally different market right now, as we've been saying for some time now. I was mentioning, I think even up here, I was like, "Yo, this is big 22 bearish type of activity," and sure enough, look, we're getting it. But anyways, where you take this to, you could have took it to multiple of places. You could have took it to the open of the 9:30 a.m. Or the high right there. If you wanted to hold it longer, you could. If you understood where you were going with this up over here to the left here, you see this 2 to 2.5. It's kind of faint to see. See this projection right here? See the 2 to 2.5? What is that? Man, I hate when it does that. There's 2 to 2.5 right here in between here. So you could have held it anywhere in there. You could have held it right to the 2, which right here would have been beautiful here as well. This gap right here. But then when the price comes up here, retraces back right here. And right here, this is the 1030 dealing range. So the 1030 dealing range has now been finished right here, right? So where is the 1030 level right here? Okay, so 1030 right here. So when this 1030 happens, you get this retrace back. This retrace back comes and wipes out some of that liquidity. All right, gets into this last down candle right here to this 1020. This last down candle right here. Let me open it up for you. So this 1020 here, okay, body's a little lower, so I'm going to count this one. Technically, you really could have used the high of this candle as well, which was this 1023. But because you wouldn't have been wrong in either one, to be honest with you. But if you drag that out here, you can see that it's ended up bouncing off of that. This is a nice area to take it where for this trade here, my minimum target was going to the high of the Sunday gap, which is in the purple. I knew it would go a little higher and wipe out the high of Wednesday, but I wasn't willing to wait and hold for that, and I wasn't sure if it was going to happen today or not. Could have immediately came back down and started wiping out all this liquidity here, and it didn't. So it ended up panning out, which was a beautiful trade. But the order flow is there. As you see, we push up here. We retrace back. We retrace back into. There's so much to talk about, but it's kind of hard to see this. I know with all these gaps in the background, but the purple one is the purple one, and then so hard to see it. You can see here that this is just a gap right here from here to here. There's a gap right here. This empty space is in between. This is empty in the middle. And then there's this gap right here from here to here. There's a gap right there, right? So the reason why I'm saying that is because this bounces off that gap perfectly, pushes up for another higher high. This is pretty much these higher lows right here, not breaking that low, and just heading up to perfectly the top of that gap. Again, I know this is very difficult to see all these gaps, but what are you gonna do? So yeah, it's crazy how I have to. I don't know. The indicator doesn't drag them out, man. But pretty much. Let's see what else here. What else can I say? Not much. But for today, as far as literally today goes, you had a nice divergence here. You had a higher low here with Dow, and then you had lower lows here with S&P and NAS. And that was pretty much the push up right there. So, and for us, that was how the initial trade was beautiful at that 9:30 as well. You still had higher highs here. I could literally drag this out, but whatever. So yeah, so there's that, and then dollar is retracing back into that imbalance. And if you were to look at the bonds were also coming back down for the last 3 days, and actually pretty much 4 days really. But and they reached a little bit of a peak, and they're coming back down to get onto an oversold area. So I expect bonds to come down a little bit more still, and then yields were also. Now I'm taking a look down here. Yields also have some room to come back up, because they were, when I did these last videos, they were at a floor, and so we were kind of pushing down, but we were pushing down also with dollar. But I can still see dollar coming back down more, but we are reaching some type of maybe support with dollar right now. We'll see. It's very interesting. But let's take a look here look at Dow. Fucking crazy. So I was mentioning, oh my God. I was mentioning all this liquidity here. Sure enough, they did rush for that. Obviously, Sunday's price action, and again, not taking out these lows. So that this just shows me that we probably have another leg coming down. Yes, we can pop up a little bit to get out some of this imbalance for the push out artist right here, and balance that price, and get a body above these gaps right here. But I think we're still gonna have, as a lower high, we're gonna maybe roll down one more time and get into some of this liquidity, because we got some gaps over here. Just looking at Dow, we got some gaps right here, and I don't know. I mean, it would have to be a strong, really strong. I mean, this, don't get me wrong, this is a strong price action, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm just not buying it. But let me see here. So this is crazy points for Dow. My God. Huh. Fucking 1,000-point moves now. And then let me go to S&P. Again, we're also closing again with their body right there. Needing a body there. It's pretty obvious. this big wick here. Tomorrow's Friday, so I don't know. That's with Friday, I would expect to push up more. And then just be some type of bullish week, and then maybe the following week. It's obviously going to do two things next week. It's either going to because we got CPI next week, and I think that's what everything's kind of holding for. Obviously, CPI is either going to push this down below these lows, or it's going to push it up, and we're bullish. So this is pretty much where we are. And I know September is more of a better idea. Where are we going to get rate cuts or not? But I just don't feel like the bottom side is done. Only because the way that they didn't take out some of this liquidity below. I feel like this is the range here. Not this. Not from here to here, but from here to here. Right? So I would expect them to come down a little bit and then bounce from somewhere here. To me, that would make sense. I'm looking at S&P. And then also by going up on Friday, we do have a little bit of this room here to settle, because when people broke out with these double bottom, these lows, we're pushing back up to attack them. As far as us, same thing. Very similar story here. We're coming up into here, to wipe out some liquidity. See, again, same story. For us to be at equal lows like this, like literally the same, damn near, and not take it out, I don't know. To me, that's just really suspect. And if I was to look at the range, I mean, for NASDAQ, this is pretty clean. And for it to be 100% retracement right there, I don't know. I mean, it's possible that we push up from here, but from this range, from here to here, it's a pretty decent range. Right here to here to here. I'm just following it live. But maybe this is the whole range here, and just one more leg to sweep down would make sense. So I don't know, but not trying to make this too long. Let me see here. And then what was I telling you guys about Nvidia? Look at this. I was talking about this gap for a very long time, and sure enough, I told everyone that this gap is suspect. And sure enough, look at what we did. My dog came to visit me. What's it called? So with this gap right here, I was like, look at this. Look at the drop on where's Sunday here on Nvidia. Oh, this was Sunday, yeah. So this big gap down on Sunday, we opened up here. We literally closed that gap, man, and that's just so fucking shady. But whatever. But I was mentioning this gap for a long time. Sure enough, we did it. So I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, they did a pretty good job of coming down for that. Now, I mean, hey, coming down all the way to here doesn't really make sense, but that gap is pretty massive. Let me go to a daily. Well, you see, the problem is you won't be able to see it on a daily. Go to a 4-hour. Let me see what Nvidia. That's too low, man. There's no way we're coming back down here. So there's a gap right there. I'm not gonna draw them all out. And being this low, the algorithm doesn't have to come this low, but man, what a drop. Oh my god. Right here is clean. Everything's clean. I mean, at this point, for us coming down and gapping down here, this is a lower high right now. So you can see the lower lows and lower highs now. Very clear, obviously. I did see them, but but for me, this feels like a very good support area. So August is the worst month of the year, in my opinion. And if I was to look at the historical data, it's literally like a speaker. So it's like it's gonna, it's. If I was to go back to this, let me make this a 4-hour. If I was to show you what the possibilities are from here, I'm just gonna try to do this quick. The 5-year historical data doesn't really look clean at all, or what's going on now. Definitely the 15-year and the 30-year look like they're in play at the moment, but like this could be a bottom here unless CPI, we do this, one more time type of thing, and then what's it called? Then we buy up for the rest of the year, right? Type of thing, and then we come maybe back down in September, and then go up again, right? So that's option one, okay. what do you call it? Option 2 is that we're on the 30-year, and that we don't come back down, and this was kind of like the double bottom here, and we kind of do this. So we kind of like, we go up, we come retrace back one more time, or pull up, and then just buy. Or this will actually happen here. This little situation might like do that, right? So that's also in the card there. And if you want to print them and save these shots or whatever, feel free. But or no, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it in my opinion. And just, do we come down for one more low here is the whole question here. Right there before we go. So, are we in a major recession? I mean, could be, but at the same time, this is still normal to retrace back and wipe out buyers. I mean, it's just the way the algorithm works. But let me see. I feel like I'm missing something here. I explained these trades here. A 5-minute here. So you can see with this projection here, we came up and see if I can squeeze all this in. And because of this imbalance, I forgot to mention that. This is what made me take this buy right here, by the way. I didn't mark all this though. Come on, dude. So that imbalance right there. And then the low was actually first with that candle right there, which was this 1025. And then we kind of made a swing low right here. So as this price was swinging back up, that was how I got entered. But coming back in here was the goal right there, right there. See that? So and this was self-explanatory here. We got the higher lows going there. Pretty easy going into that projection direction is what we're looking at. Plus, we understand that we needed a body closure, right? So that's the whole gimmick of why we're buying here. So, but no bias of bullish or bearish. This is just basic price action. So, and that's what that was. But yeah, man. I don't know really what else I could say. I don't want to drag this out, but I've said it. I've said everything about Nvidia. Where we're pretty much headed. I really don't care where we're headed, to be honest with you, but anything can happen here with this kind of market, especially with are they going to cut rates or not. But I really don't see them doing it anytime soon. I really don't. So in that sense, that'll change the direction of our historical data direction, if they're going to keep buying or not. But I would assume that coming below is one more time would make sense. But in an intraday's perspective, I don't care because I'm just following logic. Right now, we are building a lower high, technically. So we have all the room to build that lower high here, as you can see, and then maybe roll over one more time. As we've been having these rising wedges, this is another rising wedge. I mean, there's no difference here. So, I mean, it's not very hard price action. Even if you put a phantom trend line, it's like pretty basic. But this looks like it's going to widen up. Looks like it's going to widen up and then roll over. That's what I think. So, you guys take care and God bless.